I've got a series of exercises if you have lower back pain and sciatica called the Mckenzie exercises. It's a really simple progression that I'm going to take you through that's very safe and very effective. This progression is especially important for someone that's really kind of hunched over, they're having back or leg pain, and they're kind of forward or they can't quite straighten out. These exercises are typically good for if you have that type of back problem. Now, who is this video not for, or who shouldn't do these exercises? If you had a recent trauma or fall, that's someone that would really get a good evaluation. If you have progressive weakness in your legs, you feel like you're really getting weak, you don't know why, it's happened quickly, severe night pain, and also if you have changes in bowel and bladder changes. If you haven't had any of those situations, these should be safe for you, but you have to listen about the rules on what's safe and what's not, and we're going to go into that next. Okay, this is the rule of thumb. If you're having, I'm going to give you two cases. If you have someone that's got lower back pain and you're feeling it just in this general area, maybe feel it into your buttock area or here. If you start doing these exercises and it becomes more focal, so instead of being kind of over both your hips, it's kind of like a silver dollar, it's just in this region and smaller, that's considered a better direction, meaning they call it centralizing. And centralizing is typically associated with good results for back pain, okay? So you can continue to do the exercise if you have that centralization. It gets smaller, the area where you're having pain, or less intense, or it goes away, okay? Now peripheralization, let's give you a scenario here. Let's start out, now we have a little bit of pain right at, let's say right by our belt line here, but it's nowhere else, not in the buttock, it's not down the leg. Let's say you start doing the exercise that I'm giving you or I'm showing you, and you start noticing it radiating down your leg, or if it's in your leg, it goes down below, it's not below your knee, but now it's starting to go below your knee. That's a sign that it's actually peripheralizing. Just a fancy word, but typically that's not a good direction, it's a bad sign. So we want to either not do the exercise or adjust it, okay? So keep that in mind. If it becomes more focal and maybe goes away, that's good. Let's say if it goes from a large area that you're having trouble and smaller, better direction. If you start noticing you're radiating down one or both legs, bad direction, okay? As long as you listen to those rules, you shouldn't get in trouble. When we do an evaluation in the clinic, we take a thorough history, we look at imaging, whatever else, and we also take people through a series of movements. It could be bending forward, arching back, side bending, and then we come up with an exercise. This is one of the more common exercise progressions, but it doesn't mean that this is the one that's for your type of back problem. So if you're running into trouble, you may need a formal evaluation. And we take people through a series of movements to make sure we really have the best chance of the exercise helping your back pain and sciatica or disc problem. Listen, if you're enjoying this video and you really feel like it's helped you out a lot, please hit that like button. It really helps us a lot. Subscribe. And don't forget to turn on those notifications so you hear about the next video we're going to have. Or place a comment in the bottom, and I try to address as many as I can address them all. So we're going to take you through this progression. Some people don't have to start at the very beginning. It depends on where you're at as far as your particular back problem. But I'm going to show you the starting point, the safest point, and then we're going to take you through. Some people can jump ahead and go to the middle exercise or one of the last exercises that we show. It just depends on the person, okay, and how you respond to the movement. This first progression is for someone that really can't stand up. They can't really get themselves directed because it gives them more problems. They're kind of more forward, okay? So you're going to lie on your stomach. You're going to have your waistline at the top. It should be like flat in your back. And what I do is we normally have you just rest for a minute, 20 to 30 seconds. And if you're starting to feel better, we'll take out one pillow, which will cause your spine to flatten. Still lying forward. Feel okay, 20 to 30 seconds. Sometimes you don't even need that long. Then you go down to the next pillow, and eventually you take out this pillow, so you're completely flat. Okay, and that's the end of that particular start of that exercise. Other people don't have to start with the pillow technique. You're going to basically start by lying flat, and that in itself could be a stretch for someone that's really losing that arch and they're a little bit forward. When they lie flat, that actually creates a stretch in your lower back, and you literally just lie face down. I prefer you to not have your arms overhead so it doesn't arch your back excessively. I want you to lie flat. You can turn your head to the side. And you can do like 20 to 30 seconds, see how you feel. Then the next progression is a prone prop. So now you're going to slowly, and depending on how acute it is or how sensitive it is, you're going to slowly inch your forearms up. And now we're creating a little bit more of an arch in our lower back. And how people just start here, and then eventually they just kind of slowly move up, pressure on, and then pressure off. If you do it too fast, sometimes it'll make it more uncomfortable and it creates almost like a spasm cycle sometimes. So all the way up, pressure on, pressure off. As you feel like you're getting a little bit further, you can go a little higher. You want to get to the point where you're feeling a stopping point at the very end of the motion. So all the way down, then all the way back. If this becomes easy, then you can take the next progression. You can put your hands at your sides, slightly outside your shoulders. Make sure your hips are kind of wide. And you're going to come up to that same restriction you got when you're on your elbows. Pressure on, pressure off. Pressure on, you got to get to the very end motion. Hey, I can't move any further, and we don't have any problems as far as the motion or movement of pain, like we talked about that centralization, peripheralization. Monitor that as you do the exercises, and then also when you stop. If you're unsure, do 5 to 10 and just take a rest for a second, see how you do. Oh wow, my pain is improving, it's less intense, or it's more focal, or it's gone. Same idea, then go into it again. I tell people about 5 times a day, you can do this progression depending on the severity. Okay, now I'm going a little further, but I still feel like the pain's not gone. Some of our people that are very mobile, we have to make a little bit of addition. So we're just going to take this foam roll, it doesn't matter which one it is. You can also use even like a step or something. All we're trying to do is increase the height off the table or off the floor. It doesn't matter what you're on. I do prefer not to do it on your bed when you can, because it's got a little bit of give to it, but it's not going to hurt you. Okay. All right, so if you do it on a flat surface like so, we're trying to get an increased angle. So we're going to put this underneath our shoulders, and we're going to press up, and that's going to allow us to get a little bit more range of motion in the lower back. Everyone's lower back range of motion is different, so what your friend feels at the very end of his range of motion in you might be different how far you move. Okay? So this progression you're going to take yourself through. If you get to a point where one of the movements doesn't seem to work for you, go back to the previous movement and keep on doing that for a while. Sometimes you have to do that for 2 or 3 days. Then you can go back to this progression. If you're not seeing results, go through the whole series again and see how you do. If you feel like the starting ones that I showed you are really easy, then you can skip those steps. Okay, it's more important that you do the ones that are more challenging and work on the range of motion. Okay, when in doubt, go through the earlier steps first and then progress to that full extension. So you want to do these, like we talked about, 10 to 20 times I would say every 2 hours, or about 5 times a day. After 3 to 5 days, you should see some change in how you feel by doing these stretches, and then we kind of take it from there. The key is that you should either be neutral or better. You shouldn't feel like this is making your pain worse, okay? Some discomfort or soreness is normal, because sometimes you haven't moved that way in a while, and it's going to be a little sore, but it shouldn't increase your pain symptoms. It shouldn't increase the frequency, duration, or intensity of what you're experiencing. Okay, I hope this helps you out. Please put something in the comments if you have any questions.